Good day, how are you? This is Captain Anderson again. I'm the head of the Planet Earth Ship program, and I'm here to give you a little factoid about BP spill. I have a right to give you these because I've been in the oil transportation business for about 40 years. And I started out in the Gulf of Mexico, and I ran those vessels, and I pulled those rigs around, and I brought out the pipe, and I brought out the mud, and I moved the anchors, and I know the relationship between these people and the tool bosses and all the rest of it. That's not the problem. It's not entirely BP's fault for doing what they're doing. It's 100% their fault, but we're the ones that drove them to do it. We're the ones that demand the cheap oil. We're the ones that force these guys to do everything they can do to get every drop of oil out of the earth. That's something the Planet Earth Ship program is going to work on. But for the time being, let me tell you why BP is giving you a little bit more unadulterated bullshit. Now, if I know something factually, I'm going to tell you I know it factually, and I'll say so, and you can believe it. I wouldn't bother to tell you anything other than the truth. And if I don't know something to be absolutely positively true, I will attach a couple of caveats. In this case, I'm going to have to attach a couple of caveats because I'm not there for sure. But I've been around this business enough to know what's going on. So here's the deal. They say today they captured 28,000 barrels of oil. I don't think so. And the reason I don't think so is because they have a containment dome over the blowout preventer. And they're a mile deep in the water. The pressures are so intense they can't even send a submersible down there. So they're doing it all with touchy-feely stuff. Now that oil is coming out of the ground under a great deal of pressure. How much? I'm not going to pretend to know. But that oil goes up into that containment dome, and then it goes up into the pipe. That oil consists of not oil, it's sludge, it's muck, it's mud. It has to be heated and refined and distilled and all kinds of stuff before it becomes oil. So it's junk. It's got all kinds of crap in it, and it's got the chemicals are widely dispersed and so on and so forth, and it's full of methane. There's a lot of methane in that oil. That's what caused the explosion in the first place, by the way. And those big flames you see on the oil rigs, they're not there to light the way at night or anything like that. That's not a torch parade. That's methane coming out of the hole, and they have to burn it off to get rid of it. So when they say they captured 28,000 barrels of oil, let me remind you that what's going up that pipe is oil, sludge, methane, and a good deal of water. How on earth are you going to get all that oil to shoot up that pipe from a containment dome without expecting to get water in there as well? Is BP telling you we got 28,000 barrels of oil and 14,000 barrels of water and X number of cubic feet of methane? No, they're not telling you that. Maybe they think the public's too stupid to understand the difference. Mostly they're trying to diminish the impact of what they have done to the Gulf of Mexico. So they're just saying it's 28,000 barrels of oil. I don't think they're putting it into a barge and letting the water and the oil separate, letting the methane burn off, then pumping out the water and just measuring the oil. That's very unlikely if that's taking place. So that's one other thing that BP is doing to pull the wool over our eyes. So I've told you about the density problem in one of my other videos, which explains that oil that's coming out of the ground is not oil, and it has a specific gravity very close to 1. So for this reason, it's suspended in the water to a large extent, and only the lighter stuff is coming to the surface and washing ashore. The damage to the underwater ecosystem is absolutely, positively immeasurable. This is just more corporate bullshit. This is what these people do. And with the Coast Guard, I mean, I did the same thing. I did the same thing to the Coast Guard on a little tiny minuscule scale that BP is doing with the higher-ups in the Coast Guard. You don't bribe them. You just got to get along with them. They want to do their job. You got to make them feel good about their job. When I had a barge in dry dock, some 22-year-old kid from the Coast Guard Academy would come down with his chalk, and he would mark the barge where I had to do all these repairs. He'd say, oh, fix this, fix that, fix that. You know, every time he waves this chalk, it costs you $50,000. So the best thing to do is to get along with them, buy them a cup of coffee, chat them up a little bit, make them think they're smart. Then you say, you know what, Cap? Cap is what you call them, you know, Captain. You say, hey, Cap, you know what? I don't think that's important. I got another thing over here on the other side of the barge that's really terrible, and let's take a look at it. Maybe you can show me how to fix it. And then you walk around the other side and you let him, oh yeah, he says, that's terrible. And then you let him explain how to fix it. And he forgets about the other thing, which was much, much more expensive. It's not illegal. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way it goes. Do you think that the Coast Guard's relationship with BP is any different than that now? Do you think the hundreds of millions of dollars that BP is spending on public relations isn't doing something to help the Coast Guard get along with them a little better? Look, it's not their fault. They're just playing the game, same as I played the game. The problem is they're now fucking with our environment. They're fucking with the Gulf of Mexico. They're fucking with me, and I don't like it. And I don't think you should like it either. I don't think you should sit on your butts and do anything more. Look, you can join hands across the sand if you want to. That'll make you feel good, but it isn't going to get anything done. We need to act out. We need to speak up. We need civil disobedience. We need all those people down the Gulf that are mad as hell to hop in a bus. We'll all do it together. We'll coordinate it through my website, and we'll march up to Washington. And then we'll give old Joe Biden something to worry about. So why don't you do it, folks? For goodness sakes, is it important to you? Do you care about the fish, the turtles, anything, the beaches, your revenue, your lifestyle? Don't let BP kiss the Coast Guard's butt and get out of this and go away and drill a hole someplace else. We need to reduce our oil consumption for one, and we need to hold these guys so goddamn accountable that they'll be paying for it for the rest of their lives. Now, you can see the webpage on here. Go to the website, sign up. That will allow us all to communicate. It will organize this thing. It will march on Washington and tell them that we're tired of their BS. Okay?